Jamaica, Queens, a place known for hustle, survival, and ambition. From these tough streets rose a man who would change the sound of hip-hop forever. He's a rapper, an actor, a businessman, and a survivor, literally. This is the incredible story of 50 Cent. From a childhood filled with tragedy, to being shot 9 times and living to tell the tale, to selling millions of records and becoming a mogul. This isn't just the story of a rapper. It's the story of resilience, reinvention, and power. Curtis James Jackson III was born on July 6, 1975, in South Jamaica, Queens, New York. He never knew his father, and his mother, Sabrina, was only 15 when she gave birth to him. She tried to raise him, but the streets of Queens in the 1980s were a dangerous place. Sabrina herself was deeply involved in the drug trade. When Curtis was just 8 years old, tragedy struck. His mother died in a mysterious fire, believed to be connected to her lifestyle. From that moment, young Curtis was on his own. He moved in with his grandparents, but the absence of his parents would shape him forever. Like many kids in his neighborhood, he was surrounded by crime, drugs, and violence. By the age of 12, Curtis had stepped into the same world his mother lived in. He began hustling on the streets, selling crack cocaine during the height of the crack epidemic. While most kids were worrying about school, Curtis was learning the harsh realities of survival. Curtis was arrested multiple times as a teenager, caught with crack, heroin, and even weapons. He was sent to boot camp after one arrest, where he earned his GED. But despite the trouble, he also discovered something else, a passion for music. In the 1990s, hip-hop was exploding in New York. Curtis saw rappers telling their stories through music, and he thought, why not me? He started writing rhymes inspired by his own life on the streets. His raw, aggressive delivery stood out. He began recording demos under the name 50 Cent, inspired by a Brooklyn stick-up kid of the same name. To Curtis, the name represented change, toughness, and survival. But before he could make it big, tragedy nearly ended everything. In May 2000, outside his grandmother's house in Queens, 50 Cent was ambushed by a gunman. He was shot 9 times. In his hands, arms, hip, legs, chest, and even his face. Most people would not have survived, but Curtis did. He spent months in recovery, relearning how to walk and talk. The bullet wounds left him with his signature slightly slurred speech, but they also gave him a second chance at life. Many thought his career was over before it began. Record labels dropped him, fearful of the violence surrounding his name. But instead of quitting, 50 Cent doubled down. He used his survival story as fuel, creating some of the hardest and most authentic mixtapes hip-hop had ever seen. By 2002, 50 Cent had built a buzz in the underground with his mixtape Guess Who's Back. His street credibility and survival story caught the attention of 2 of hip-hop's biggest names. Eminem and Dr. Director Eminem flew 50 Cent to Los Angeles, and after hearing him rap, he was convinced. Dr. Dre agreed. Together, they signed 50 Cent to Shady/Aftermath/Interscope Records. In 2003, 50 Cent released his debut album, Get Rich or Die Tryin. The album was an instant classic. With hits like In Da Club, 21 Questions, and PIMP, it became one of the fastest-selling albums in hip-hop history, moving nearly 1 million copies in just a few days. Go Shorty, it's your birthday. Those words became an anthem. 50 Cent had officially arrived, and the world couldn't get enough. His rough past, his bullet wounds, his charisma, and his undeniable talent made him a superstar. 50 Cent wasn't just thinking about music. He was thinking about building an empire. He launched G-Unit Records, signing rappers like Lloyd Banks, Tony Yayo, and Young Buck. Their group, G-Unit, dominated the charts with hits and mixtapes, making 50 Cent not just an artist, but a label boss. But music wasn't his only play. He invested in business ventures, the most famous being vitamin water. When Coca-Cola bought the brand, 50 Cent reportedly walked away with over $100 million. This move proved he wasn't just a rapper, but a businessman with vision. Of course, 50 Cent's rise wasn't without controversy. He was famous for his feuds with Ja Rule, The Game, Rick Ross, and even at times with his own mentors like Eminem and Dr. Director. Some criticized him for always stirring up drama, but others saw it as genius marketing. Every feud, every headline kept 50 Cent in the spotlight. In hip-hop, attention is power, and 50 knew how to use it.